in the whole process, and that's why I started by asking, I said, haven't we had enough challenges to learn from that we shouldn't be repeating the same mistakes about what we are doing for ourselves or how we are doing it? So I'll give you examples. In fact, now this brings in the private sector as well. We sat here, we agreed, we've been discussing it everywhere. You are the ones who brought up something called Made in Rwanda, isn't it? I thought it had a very important meaning, Minister of Commerce. Made in Rwanda, Minister of Industry. I thought it had a huge meaning. I think we wanted to do things here, as many as we can, for export, but also for our people, isn't it? That's why we ran into problems with some developed countries' markets. When we said we want to make clothes, we don't want to use the clothes. Isn't it what we did? But so it's the same thing. Do you want food made from somewhere else? Can you grow your own food? Do you remember here in another retreat when I even put the question to you, is when we talked about chicken and eggs and something. Do you remember? Which retreat was it? The last one or the one before? Huh? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we haven't still been able to have chicken and eggs produced here because we were raising it. I think it was something about where they come from, and there was a problem about it. And I said, but why do we need to wait until some eggs are thrown at us? You know, because that also happens. In fact, those who throw them at us, it's because they have excess. But why don't we produce our own for food, for what we need? So can you, Minister of Agriculture, tell me why that should be a problem? In this day and age, producing eggs, having a chicken and having them producing eggs, is it rocket science? We have to still invest millions in research about it, or what? What is the problem?
There is no problem, Your Excellency. Actually, we had taken decisions not to let the dumping, and then it was made, and it
yes.
happened just in 2 years. We were able to do it.
Now you are doing it.
I recall we had to stop the dumping.
I hope so. I also hope you did, because it seems even with our challenges, dumping might not seem to be a problem for us. I mean, psychologically, the mindset, if we here don't see that having any kind of dumping here is a problem, then we are the problem. Absolutely. Even the fact that we actually came to that point 2 years ago where we talked about it, because how many years have we been here? So we needed to have addressed it long ago. It didn't have to come 2 years ago. These are some of the simple things we can be able to do. So that, because you remember I also mentioned in the same, suppose where they are coming from, people decided to say, we are not going to send our eggs or chicken to Rwanda. What happens? That means somebody starves you. Isn't it? So why should you put yourself in this situation where your livelihood depends on somebody else, on things you can afford to do? This is why I started with what I started with. Why do you make yourself vulnerable even on matters that you can't afford to do for yourself? What is the problem? No, I'm still with you on telling you more stories. The Ministry of Health. Do you remember the case of, I think we discussed it also, I don't know whether it was circumcision. Young people, primary, secondary school children and others crossing the border and in their hundreds, and when you asked why, what is going on, they say they were going for circumcision. And I asked the minister, I said, 2 points here. There is, what is this device which, prepex? Has anybody heard of something called prepex? You heard about it? It was invented here, right? By Rwandese, and they was working with an Israeli company, if I remember well. A military doctor, I think, right? This is a device that has, is known for its effectiveness, its efficiency, its prepex, a device that was made here. So I asked the Minister of Health, I said, aren't you ashamed? Shouldn't we be ashamed that we have something of a world renown invented here, but we don't use it? We have, the others are using it. In West Africa, in fact, I was told many countries have found that to be the most efficient way of doing their thing. But so I asked the minister, I said, what happened? It was invented here. We should have scaled it up, even if it meant government involvement, putting in money. And we do it, and not only that, export it. We should be the ones exporting it, not others selling it to us. These are the things I'm telling you I don't understand, I cannot understand. For people like us, who have grown and, to an extent, thrived in the hardships, to keep missing these things that we should be doing. Ariko ntabwo ari ministry ya health gusa. Kuvuga ngo even our mayors of these districts and where people cross and go to other countries to get services, we are known better for by the rest of the world to be giving our own people, then to find that actually in the end it flips on its head and we are going for these services from somewhere else. There is something terribly wrong with the system. with you. There is no question about it. So up to now, Minister of Health, tell me what up to now, what happened? I've never understood it. Can you attempt to explain to me again? Not only did it, actually it did not happen once. Even after we had said it and so on and so forth, they still found people are still going, and when they asked, so what happened? Tell me, because I wanted to deliver my point of what I'm saying, of how we can almost be blackmailed on things we are capable of delivering ourselves. Why do you accept blackmail? Tell me what happens.
Your Excellency, we didn't align the means to the demand we created. Abo bana bacu bumvise vuba akamaro ka some concession.
Yes, but why should that arise? Is it because the minister didn't know, didn't think about it? Is it because all of us somehow we get paralyzed and stop seeing things the way we should be seeing them? What goes on is really the main point I want to raise. What happens? What happens to the mayors who see children in their hundreds crossing borders, going somewhere else? What do they think is happening? What happens to the Minister of Education and the heads of schools seeing, in fact, the way they saw it, these children crossed during the school week. It was not even on a weekend. No, they just moved in a mass on a school day, and when they were, now, suppose actually the other side had arrested them, like now they are arresting people. Do you come rushing to us and say, or their parents come rushing to us and say, our children have been arrested in Uganda? The first question is, what were they doing there? How did they go there in the first place? And the answer would be, oh, they had gone for circumcision. Is this serious? Huh? So, Minister of Education, it's the Minister of Health, it's the Minister of Local Government, it's the governors, it's the mayors, it's everybody. How do children of this age make it habit? They don't even hide it. They go in mass during the day, during the school week. And you find it normal, all of you, that this is something that nobody should be bothered about. How? Huh? Diane, I'm still waiting for you. I want to understand it. But as much as I'm waiting for other people to tell me what is going on. Huh?
Your Excellency, we don't find it normal. Binateye isoni ntabwo rwose tubona ko
Biteye isoni. Murashaka kwishyira mu position aho namwe muteye isoni se. You no longer, you people, you know, no shame. Eh? Even we invest heavily in the provision of water to our population, but we still have people crossing borders for water. Water. People cross just as a habit, even if there is water nearby in the same distance, they still cross to pick it from the other side. Now, I can't just say there's something wrong with this person or the young person who crosses and goes to pick water. I actually find something more serious with us, the leaders, who see that happen and they see nothing wrong. Secondly, where there is no water, maybe there has not even been pressure for these leaders to have government put their water sources for them. It's normal, because they have found it normal, that you can be crossing borders to go and fetch water instead of providing water to your own people where they are. Even schools. Schools, do we need to have children cross borders going, during the day they are on the other side, in the evening they are back, and they are probably getting the same quality of education there as they would get back home. But because nobody sees nothing wrong with that, then it happens. Now, even for business people, now I'm coming to you. Now I'm going to have muri shyashya. Because there are things you should be providing, that you are capable of providing to your own people, to your own market, that you are so careless about and you actually don't provide. In fact, you end up surrendering your market to others because you can, and sometimes you do it so poorly that you think making your thing more expensive, well, it compensates for, at least gives you the profit you want, and that's it. So people on the other side who can provide the same thing you're providing cheaply, bring it here. And you, in fact, without knowing, you have created an unnecessary competition for yourself. But it goes on and on and on. You know, honestly, even water, even namazi. Water, soap. On one hand, we say, oh, we produce water, we produce soap. But what happens? When your people don't access it, and they end up having to access water from somewhere else, because yours, and by the way, your water which you're making is so expensive for Rwandans hasn't even been so attractive to these other markets. So that's why some people end up closing shop. People come the next day and say, you know, sometimes people want even a government intervention. It's like, you force people to buy my thing. I mean, you know, let me tell you another story. You know something called the Semerwa, right? Prime Minister, do we still have this blood thing? Fit investment. No, process shorten it. You know, Semerwa can't produce enough cement at all, far from enough. Then they are very expensive. Then the government, if you tell me government, so what is next? What is next is that they think we can stop cheaper cement coming in so that they make money. Imagine. So we stop cement from the region that is cheaper to come in, maintain the expensive cement from Semerwa, which they are not producing enough of, and that is business. So I'm really disappointed that something additional. Iyo Semerwa, government ifitemo shares, hari n'abandi bo hanze bafitemo, nibo the majority, bafite majority shareholding. Bafite 51. Ariko, for them, they make profit. You know the tricks they use, including transfer pricing, including all kinds of things, but they have no loss. Every loss is on the back of government. So nobody, Prime Minister, nabwo kubu icyo mwashyiriye investment muri Semerwa is to absorb the loss made by the company so that your partner makes profit. And then you're not even supplying even a quarter of what is needed in Rwanda. Ibi mvuga, you business people, murabizi ariko? PSF man. Murabizi? Yeah, tell the people because ndababwira bakibwira ngo hari ibyo byumba.
Bivuga n'ibyo kabisa.
Yes. Yes, this is what happens. So government's duty is to absorb loss and allow a partner to get away with the profit. But still, Abanyarwanda get nothing from it. And then, so, kubera ko government ifitemo uruhare, we should stop cement coming from Uganda, from Tanzania, from wherever that is cheaper, to protect them. I told them, we are not going to protect them. First of all, I advised these people, I said, why don't you give it to this company, private company, 100%? Mwe murakora miki. Kuko, either they will do better, provide cement, and make profit, or they will close shop, which is okay with me. Yes. Why should we have cement and tell lies that we manufacture cement, but it is a cement that just brings only loss to you? What sort of business is that? So, Prime Minister, ntabwo numvise ngo process ahigeze ni hehe?
Your Excellency, twabanze kubarura agaciro ka shares zacu dufitemo kugira ngo dushyire.
Ariko ntimuzi abantu bazi, ntabwo mufite abantu bazi kubara, mubarura amezi angahe ubu? Muri aba bantu ntabazi kubara. Kubarura ni iki?
Twarabirangije. Hanyuma ubu twabwiye bari dufitanye kugira ngo bemere niba bashaka kuzigura tubaha iyo chance d'abord kugira ngo twemere ko bazishaka. Timeline ukwezi kumwe. End of March. End of March turatazishyira ku isoko rusange none tuzigurisha n'abandi bazikeneye.
Ubu turi no close it. Yes.
Aba South Africans bari bakirimo bemeye kuzigura twazibaha shares zacu hanyuma banze twakira ku isoko tuzagurisha n'abandi bazikeneye bakajyamo twe tukavamo. Ariko twa end of March.
Ntawe uzazikenera. Kerezubara imibare ya politics. This is called political mathematics. Bajya baka naho ibintu bitaguha ntabwo numva imibare bagomba kubara amezi of this small thing, small industry. Very clear. Where you are making loss, it is clear. If you are making profit, it is clear. There is nothing hidden. Yes. I don't see why people spend so much time. Anyway, I want this thing done and done with very fast. N'ibindi bimeze bityo. Yes. Minister of Industry. Ibindi bimeze bityo ni ibihe? I want to help you close them down and allow people who want to do good business to do good business.
Your Excellency, twari turimo gukora assessment za industries zivuga ko zifite ibibazo, ariko tukareba actually zifite ibibazo kuko it's poor planning, where it can also recommend exit kuko hari always a mindset yuko government will bail out.
Ejera microphone.
Sorry, Your Excellency. Ibyo navugaga nuko twakoraga assessment of all industries zifite ibibazo ubu ngubu, kuko hari mindset yuko government will bail them out even if troubles zirimo ari either due to mismanagement or poor planning or lack of competitiveness on the market. We wanted also to recommend zimwe to be closed down. I think izo turimo kureba on restructuring twari twabiganiriyeho was on Kinazi, kubera ko tunarebye whether we could attract a private investor. For now, I don't think he would raise any appetite kubera their financial status. So we would rather restructure it first, and then when it becomes profitable or break even, we can propose it to private investors.
Yes, but for me, time is of essence as well. All of these stories we are talking about, what time frame have we given ourselves to do these things? Kuko, for me it is between, on these matters, between yes and no, there is very little room for anything else. Either you are doing it and you think it makes sense and you are giving it a good direction and you finish with it, or make quick calculation, you find it doesn't make sense at all, you close it. But you can't stay between yes and no forever. Yes, it has to end. From the beginning, ibi byose nibi bibazo tugirana na neighbors bacu, ibi byose bikwiye kuba now hitting us in our face. And then oh, after all, why didn't we put a school here? Why didn't we put water here? Why don't we put... Why do we have our people being arrested left and right? Most of the things they go to do somewhere else are things they can do here. They benefit, and our people benefit as well, the people of this country. Right? Yes, there's no reason we have to be in this kind of position unless you have given up, you have surrendered. Aho navuye n'ibibazo byose nta kintu nabonye kiri impossible for us to overcome. So therefore, I think, or we think we are making a good progress until somebody reminds us and tells us, you know what, I will not let you have it. So we are being told, therefore, no, we will not let you have it. But I think we must have it.